You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Defending liberty 1 hour at a time and broadcasting live from the RWB Network studios in New York City, this is the Ryno Report. Always right.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go.
We are going to raise taxes on the middle class.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
You are very rude.
We are going to make America great again.
USA! USA! USA!
And fellow Americans, let's roll.
And now, here's your host, the Ryno.
The new sheriff in town.
I am the Ryno, and this is my weekend report. We are coming to you from the RWB Network studios here in New York and distributed by CRN Digital Talk Radio. So, one fast food joint in New Hampshire has given a whole new meaning to the term Happy Meals. The drive-thru worker, nicknamed Nasty Boy, decided to drum up business at the Epping, New Hampshire Burger King by handing out more than just Whoppers. He used the drive-thru window as a means to sell marijuana. All the customers had to do was ask for their French fries to be cooked extra crispy, and they would receive a small amount of weed with their order. After the local police caught wind of this, they performed a sting operation and caught Nasty Boy, a.k.a. Garrett Norris, in the act. So now, instead of fighting for 15, he'll be fighting for his freedom. All right, let's get to this weekend's headlines. First, just 1 week into Donald Trump's presidency, and he's already begun fulfilling his campaign promises, much to the chagrin of mainstream media. Using a slew of executive orders and memorandums, the United States of America is already better off than it was just 1 week ago. But has he relied on his pen a little too much in these early days? Also, Mexican President Nieto is stuck between a rock and a border wall. How far is he willing to go to defend the honor of his country? Could a tanking peso and crumbling poll numbers force his hand? And what does Donald Trump have in store for the uncooperative Mexican government? And some Californians are getting pretty serious about this whole Cal-exit secession thing. After clearing their first major hurdle this past week, two questions remain. Number one, can they get enough signatures to get the measure on the ballot? And number two, and more importantly, do any of them own a calculator? Because the numbers just don't add up. All that plus, is Donald Trump, is he sending mainstream media on a wild goose chase when it comes to crowd sizes? McDonald's introduces an ATM for fat people. And could Senator McCaskill of Missouri get run over by her opponent in 2018? We have all that plus the Daily Dose of Common Sense you can only find here on the Ryno Report. But first, let's kick this weekend show off the same way we always do, with a salute to our country with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. You guys got to check out RynoReport.com. RynoReport.com. You have a new article up there. Actually, 3 new articles. Robert has been a busy bee. Got to check those out. Plus, the newsletter. You can sign up for that there. And you can check out the new Ryno Rants. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter at RynoOnAir. At RynoOnAir. The same handle on Gab. We're speaking freely there. We're also on Facebook. Facebook.com/The Ryno Report. And you can always email me. Questions, concern, comments, Ryno, R-Y-N-O, at rwbnetwork.com. We'll be right back.
Pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
All right, guys, welcome back to this weekend edition of the Ryno Report. Before we get too far, we got to do our big shout-outs. Big shout-outs, everyone listening to the live show. Red Nation Rising Radio, the Liberty feed, as well as streaming talkradio.com and the replay Tuesday through Saturdays. midnight Eastern, and that's on KLRNradio.com, and of course, CRNTalk.com, CRN Channel 1. You can download that app, the CRN app, on your Google Play or iTunes store. And we got to give big shout-outs to everyone listening on our AM and FM affiliates that pick up the weekend show. That includes 107.5 WJHC out of Jasper, Florida, 92.1 FM WDDQ out of Valdosta, Georgia, 1330 AM WLBB out of Carrollton, Georgia, 1360 AM WNJC out of the Philadelphia area, and our newest affiliate, 1590 AM WCGO out of Chicagoland. So, we had a pretty busy week. Actually, Donald Trump had a really busy week. Really, really busy. And a lot of people are giving him some flack about this. About the pen, right? The executive orders. Well, it's worth noting, before we get too far into this, he's only issued 4 executive orders. In the first week of Obama's presidency, 2009, he issued 6. Everything else on Donald Trump's end has been a memorandum, essentially just giving people the go-ahead to do what was already approved, like the border wall. That money was approved a long time ago, 2006. It was approved by senators such as Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden, President Obama, Hillary Clinton. They approved this money. They approved $1.2 billion in 2006 for the construction of a 700-mile wall. So we're just putting into play what was already done. So everybody who's flipping out about the executive orders, calm down. I hear it. I hear it on the other conservative shows. I hear it in mainstream media. I hear it everywhere. Everybody calm down. This is what happens with a new president. We have not gone through this in 8 years. But it happened with Obama, it happened with George W., it happened with George H.W., it happened with Ronald Reagan, it happened with Bill Clinton, it happens with all of them. They have things they want to get done. Now, if you are a Donald Trump supporter, you're pretty happy. He's doing what he said he would do. And is that hardly the worst thing in the world? Now, for those in mainstream media, the alt-left media, the loony left, for them it is pretty bad. Because he's following through on what he said he would do. And they thought there was no way. He can't get away with this. He can't do this. Who does he think he is? Well, he's the leader of the free world. And he's doing what he said he would do. And there is no place in politics for someone to do that. There just isn't. We are so used to, we're so conditioned to expect very, very little out of our elected officials that it seems like he's doing something wrong. He said his goals early on were to secure our borders. And that is a very lofty goal. It's a very important goal. For some reason, Mexico thinks that they have a right to an open border with us. I'm not sure where they got that impression. My guess is it's from years of loony liberal left politics in this country. They have no right to an open border. As it stands right now, they have a right to free trade. Yes, they do. Because of NAFTA, which will be going by the wayside very quickly. But there's no right to open borders. And Donald Trump just came out and said what he's been saying all along. We're going to build a wall, and Mexico is going to pay for it. They thought he was full of it. They were wrong. They misjudged. And this meeting they were supposed to have, President Nieto and Donald Trump, is not going to take place. And Donald Trump responded by saying what? Fine. We are going to put a 20% import tax on goods coming to this country from Mexico. He said he would do this. In fact, that's a little bit lower than we heard during the campaign. We were hearing numbers around the 35% area. So 20%, I'd consider that a discount if I'm Mexico. But they're in big trouble. They are in dire straits financially. The peso is tumbling off the table. As it stands right now, a Happy Meal at this Epping, New Hampshire Burger King would cost about 14 million pesos. Because that's like, what, $6 American? It's falling off the table. Nieto's poll numbers are falling off the table. He was a very popular president early on. 2012, great poll numbers. But some internal scandals, and the election didn't do him many favors. I believe the meeting with Trump during the election cycle was as much to help his poll numbers as Trump wanted it to help his. But now he's president. I don't think Nieto thought it was going to happen. Like the rest of the world, like mainstream media, like everybody else, nobody thought this was going to happen. Again, shades of Brexit, but not quite. There was some people thought Brexit might happen. It shocked people, but it wasn't a huge shock. This was a huge shock. Donald Trump winning was a huge shock. Even to people like me, who thought he had a chance, who were advocating for him for months and months and months. I still said to myself, you know what? I'm preparing myself for a Hillary Clinton presidency. But it shocked Nieto more. And that country has been taken over by cartels. They've been taken over by violence. Economically, they are in very bad shape. And now we're going to send back the criminals in this country to now inhabit that country again. But when Nieto speaks, he speaks like we're one country. Like we should have some open border. He even speaks, he says he's going to help those who are already here procure legal services to fight our system. What he's saying is that his country cannot handle the burden of its own population. Now, there are those saying that, well, the border tax, the 20% tax, is not going to be paid for by Mexico. It's going to be paid for by companies trying to send product back. And superficially, they may be correct. However, these companies will soon realize they can no longer be there. They'll move to America. And now Mexico loses sales tax, payroll tax, property tax, so ipso facto they are paying for it. Not to mention, Donald Trump probably plans to cut U.S. aid. They receive over $100 billion of our money to keep their country afloat. This border wall is paid for already. They already paid for it by refusing to sit down with Donald Trump. President Nieto decided Mexico was going to pay for this wall. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do you defend the pride of your country, or do you look out for their economic best interest? He chose, and he chose wrong. Just like mainstream media chose wrong, and the globalists in this country chose wrong. We're going to keep talking about this when we come back. Plus, what's Donald Trump saying about Chelsea Manning? And is there somebody else in prison now for the same thing that may get a commutation? We have a lot to get to today, guys, but first, hang in there. Check out RynoReport.com. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your healthcare has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty HealthShare. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your healthcare. Liberty HealthShare offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty HealthShare offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty HealthShare today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today. Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your healthcare has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up, because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty Health Share. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your health care. Liberty Health Share offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty Health Share offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty Health Share today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you have severe knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, we have great news. Finally, there's a way to reduce your pain without surgery or taking medications. Call us today and learn how you can qualify to get a pain-relieving knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. We'll even ship your brace for free. If you have excruciating knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, don't wait. You may qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving, nearly invisible knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. I've used one. They're comfortable and they work, and we guarantee your happiness. So call right now and get yours. I promise we're here to take your call. Thank you.
800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. That's 800-290-0759.
All right, guys, welcome back to this weekend edition of the Ryno Report. Check out all of the old episodes, iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, and iHeartRadio. They are all over the interweb. You can't get away from us, or they're all listed on RynoReport.com, and you got to check out the live show. If you're not listening live now, you should be. CRNTalk.com, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So, I was thinking about this first story we did way back in the beginning about Mr. Nasty Boy here and his extra crispy French fries. You'd think they would be trying to do themselves some service here, these fast food workers, because you're starting to see companies like Wendy's and McDonald's commit to buying thousands of these self-kiosk units. In fact, McDonald's has a Big Mac ATM. Now, I'm not sure how fresh it is, but if I can get a Big Mac out of an ATM, I'm going to try it anyway. You have Wendy's. They're going to put kiosks in like 6,000 locations this year. McDonald's, 7,000 touchscreens. You even have there's a couple of fully automated McDonald's. I think one's in Arizona, and they're all citing this raise in minimum wage, the fight for 15. There are several states that now have implemented the $15 an hour minimum wage, and what they've done is they've essentially voted themselves out of a job because you're going to have to lay off somebody to pay 2 other people. And these restaurants are figuring out we can't sacrifice the quality of our product because we've made our name on our brand, on our quality, and we have to replace it somehow. In fact, they're saying the kiosks cut down ordering time by 3 or 4 seconds. That may not sound like a lot to you, but in the business world, that could be forever. Have you ever gone to a drive-through window and you see a little clock ticking there? 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. They get in trouble if it's above whatever the company mandated time is to give you a hamburger. So they're always looking for ways to cut down time and to cut down expenses too. So serving marijuana through a drive-through window doesn't exactly get the public on your side when it comes to this fight for 15 stuff. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I've seen people, they get interviewed all the time on various TV shows, and you see them wearing the Fight for 15 shirt, and then underneath it says, "I can't breathe." And I do not know why it says that. It sounds like they're conflating the Eric Garner situation in Staten Island with Fight for 15. You're better off fighting one thing at a time. One thing at a time. So, all these Fight for 15 people, you're going to vote yourselves out of a job. I got news for you. As a small business owner, you're going to vote yourself out of a job. You cannot expect the average business to raise its revenues or its profits 40% year over year to cover this. That's just, you can't expect that. So, there's that. Donald Trump, I thought it was pretty funny. We're going to switch gears quickly here. That's what we do. Donald Trump, he rips into Chelsea Manning. This was pretty funny over the week. Chelsea Manning wrote an article for The Guardian. Now, it doesn't take much to get into The Guardian, but essentially calling Obama weak. And Bradley Manning, Chelsea Manning, this ex-Army intelligence analyst, who of course was sentenced to like 35 years in prison for leaking documents and essentially causing the Arab Spring, and people would think that, says that Obama's weak. So he gets the commutation, calls Obama weak, and Donald Trump takes to Twitter and says, ungrateful traitor Chelsea Manning, who should never have been released from prison, is now calling President Obama a weak leader. Terrible. I love how Donald Trump uses Twitter. I love it. Completely circumnavigating mainstream media in 140 characters. They go on 24-hour news cycles to try to figure out what he's saying in 140 characters. I love it. Now, this does bring up the idea of Navy Petty Officer Christian Saucier. It does, will Donald Trump take action here? You have someone like Chelsea Manning who committed much worse crimes than Christian Saucier, who took 6 pictures on a submarine that it's now declassified. That's how old the submarine is, that those pictures have been declassified. And he gets a year in jail for that. So does Donald Trump step in here? You know what? I don't know if it sends the right message. I think in the beginning it wasn't right to convict him and send him to jail. That was the problem initially. Does it send the right message? Donald Trump's somebody who has campaigned on law and order and vehemently against people like Bo Bergdahl, who he called traitors. I'm not sure if the commutation happens. I wouldn't be totally against it, but then again, who knows? It's Donald Trump. He'll let us know via Twitter, though. He'll take the Twitter and said, yep, Saucier out of jail. Gonna build a wall still. All right, when we come back, I want to talk about this retreat that the GOP is on. We'll go over some of Trump's executive orders. We'll keep talking about the wall. We got a lot more to get to today, guys, so hang in there. You're listening to the Ryno Report, defending liberty 1 hour at a time on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool, indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for our sizzling party savings. Book your wedding event or reception, your birthday bash, or a special event of any kind and celebrate at Angelo's and Vinci's. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate in one of our many festive banquet rooms. It's an incredible fun event you will never forget. Food, music, and lots of fun. Call for the details, and don't forget our daily lunch and dinners, plus our Sunday champagne brunch. Just $14.95. Minestrone soup, sausage and peppers, pastas, chicken dishes, salads, scones, and muffins. Plus so much more, a chocolate fondue fountain, Zeblis, cannolis, fresh fruit, champagne, and Junior will be waiting to make the omelet of your choice from our omelet bar. Angelo's and Vinci's has been voted on the Orange County Hot List as one of the top 5 Italian restaurants for the past 6 years. And don't forget our award-winning pizzas. Thin or thick, they're yummy. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022, 714-879-4022.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
All right, guys, welcome back to this weekend edition of the Ryno Report. So the GOP, they're on a retreat because they work so darn hard. Yeah, 18 weeks off in the summer. They're off around the holidays. They're off when they got a campaign, for somebody else. See, I think during the campaign season, if you're not up for re-election, you don't get off. Go to work. Go to work. So they have a retreat now, and why you would take a retreat in Philadelphia is beyond me. I love Philadelphia, ton of history. I'm not a Phillies fan. Let's go Mets. But I would not do a relaxing retreat in Philadelphia. Go 45 minutes north of there, go up to Penn Pike, and go to the Poconos. Or go a little bit further and go to the Catskills. I mean, there's plenty of places to go. West Maryland, where you can have kind of a little sprawl, and they're in this hotel. They're all cooped up. They got these speakers coming in and out. They had Theresa May, of course, the Prime Minister of Great Britain. She was there. Peyton Manning was there. Peyton Manning trying to get everybody, trying to rally the troops a little bit, get everybody excited for doing congressional-type things. Now, there are people saying he may have a political future, and that's kind of what happens with some of these people. Now, he doesn't really have much of a political future in Colorado necessarily. Michael Bennet, just reelected there as their senator, maybe goes to Indiana, back to Indianapolis there, where he played with the Colts, Super Bowl there. It's possible. You have, if Joe Donnelly, he's up in 2018. Maybe Peyton could run against him. These athletes trying to find something else to do with their lives. They're realizing they can't play sports their entire life, and not everybody can be a play-by-play announcer. That's what they think. They're going to retire, and all of a sudden they're going to work for ESPN or Fox Sports. It doesn't always work that way. Now, Donald Trump is like a magician. He flies in, he flies out. Now you see him, now you don't. He goes in there, does a little speech at this retreat, and he's gone. By dinner time, he's gone. He gets everybody riled up, gets everyone going, gets the juices flowing. That's what he's good at. He did that in the last few days of the campaign. He was hitting 5 or 6 states a day, even up until it was November 7th. It may have even been November 8th, 2 o'clock in the morning. He was doing a rally in Virginia. Yeah, people saw that. They saw he outworked her. I mean, he completely outworked her. She can say she was holed up studying for debate all she wants. You could even say she won all 3 debates, but she didn't win the final vote. So he comes in, does his thing, gets them all going. They're talking about tax reform. They're talking about immigration. They're talking about Obamacare, repeal and replace. Got to do it at the same time. There's 8 or 9 different measures out there, different bills people are proposing to replace Obamacare with. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not totally in favor of the one from Susan Collins and Cassidy. I'm not 100% in favor of it. All I'm saying, and I caught a little bit of flack for this during the week. All I'm saying is it's a better option than what we have. And could there be a better option than that somewhere in the future? Sure, absolutely. I like the idea of giving control back to the states. I like that. I like that in any aspect. I'm a conservative. I want the federal government to have as little power and control as possible. And if that means giving health care back to the states, then fine, so be it. This may not be the one. There are other ones. Rand Paul has one on the table as well. So there are other options out there. I just had mentioned that this one is better, the one from Collins and Cassidy, than what we currently have. So they're at the retreat, hanging out in Philadelphia for some odd reason. But Donald Trump's working hard. All the things he's done this week. He got signed the order for the border wall. Stripped federal grant money from sanctuary cities. He's going to hire 5,000 more Border Patrol agents. He's going to end catch and release. He's going to reinstate local and state immigration enforcement policies. Plus, we got the Keystone Pipeline. That's going to be back on the table. You got the Dakota Access Pipeline back on the table. He's going to expedite permitting processes. He's getting a lot done. Withdrawing from TPP. Not down with TPP. Big stuff. The hiring freeze of the federal government, that's huge. And that's huge on a number of different levels. We discussed that on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. That's really big. Because now you're limiting some of the influence that the government sector unions have if you're limiting their workforce. So there goes their influence as well. And, of course, that excludes military. We're not going to put a freeze on hiring military. The more, the merrier, in my opinion. He gets rid of the regulatory burdens on Obamacare. He's done a lot. Done everything he said he was going to do. And he's gotten the ball rolling on several things. See, a lot of times these presidents, they come in, they have some pet project in mind. Donald Trump has like 17 pet projects. He's a builder, though. He's a businessman. This is how it works. You get the ball rolling on different things, and you put buildings in different stages of development. No successful builder out there builds a building, congratulates themselves, and then builds a second one. No, they start one, 3 months in, they start a second one. 6 months in, they start a third one. They're all in different stages of completion. And that's what's going to happen here with Donald Trump. I think it's going well. Again, this border wall, this is going to be his big building. It's going to be his Trump trophy. He's going to need something to point to. See, Obama can't point to anything. All he can point to is land grabs. He's got nothing to point to and say, I built that. That is mine. This Trump wall is going to be his big trophy. And it's already funded for. We talked about the numbers. It's already funded for. Even if you take into consideration that no other dollars are spent, a 20% import tax is going to bring in $10 billion a year. They're estimating the cost to be between $12 and $15 billion total for the wall. So inside of 2 years, it's paid for and then some. And then some. That's going to be his first big trophy. Maybe a new interstate somewhere. Who knows? Obama can't point to anything. Trump is going to point to this wall. And he's going to point to it in 2020. And he's going to get reelected. If he follows through on half of the things that he has put forth so far in the last 7 days, this is not even going to be a contest in 2020. I don't care who they put up. Tom Hanks, Cory Booker, Pocahontas. It's not going to matter. Not going to matter at all. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about sanctuary cities. They're losing their funding. We mentioned that before. But are they going to now try and sue the government? Plus, I want to talk about Cal Exit. I didn't think this thing had much steam, but they cleared a really big hurdle this week. But can they clear the next two? We'll see. We'll see. Hang in there, guys. You're listening to the Ryno Report, part of the RWB Network.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. the heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you have severe knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, we have great news. Finally, there's a way to reduce your pain without surgery or taking medications. Call us today and learn how you can qualify to get a pain-relieving knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. We'll even ship your brace for free. If you have excruciating knee or back pain and you have Medicare or private insurance, don't wait. You may qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving, nearly invisible knee or back brace at little or no cost to you. I've used one, they're comfortable, and they work, and we guarantee your happiness. So call right now and get yours. I promise, we're here to take your call. Thank you.
800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. 800-290-0759. That's 800-290-0759.
All right, guys, welcome back to this weekend edition of the Ryno Report. So, Donald Trump's got lots of stuff going on. We're getting rid of, we're ending the funding from sanctuary cities. This is going to be a hot button for a lot of people. In fact, it's one of the main driving factors behind the hashtag CalExit. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But they stand to lose like $2.3 billion of federal funding. And that's funding for housing, for airport improvements, for HIV treatment, for education. That's a lot of money. And there's something like 300 different sanctuary cities out there. And they could be losing a lot of money. And there are also bills in Congress that would make sure they pay some money back. So if they decide not to follow the rule of law, not to follow really what is law, what is immigration law, they're going to have to pay money back that they were given, and that would just hamstring, it would cripple just about every single one of these sanctuary cities. They are going to cut their nose to spite their face. Now you have people like Comrade Mayor Bill de Blasio, New York City, who's talking to Allison Camerata on CNN, on the Clinton News Network. And he's saying that this, ending sanctuary cities, this is the liberal, loony liberal logic. It will actually make New York City less safe. So if we deport criminal aliens, it's going to make New York City less safe. And here's what he says. He says because what they do, and this is how out of touch this clown is, he says because the illegal aliens, the criminal aliens, what they do is they act as informants for the police, and they work together with the NYPD to get other evildoers, people who have committed worse crimes, essentially, is what he's saying. This is the logic he's using. No. That is completely off base. But he's going to be part of this whole group of mayors, Rahm Emanuel, you'll see Eric Garcetti, you'll see Bill de Blasio, will all get together and they'll file these lawsuits and these injunctions. Once again, Democrats working as hard as they can to actually stop progress. When they say they're the progressive party, they're the ones always wanting to move forward. Here they are actually stopping progress. But essentially what he was saying when he was talking to Allison Camerata was he was kind of saying that immigrants are rats. They just rat on each other, and we have to use them, and they'll rat on the other evil wrongdoers. How does that make you feel? That's what he's saying. But their reign of terror is coming to an end. There's a lot of money they're going to lose. And it's not all going to be from the law enforcement aspect. What they're trying to tell you is that if they pull this money, it's going to affect the safety of the citizens of the city because it's taking money from the law enforcement coffers. That's completely unfactual. That money comes from the state. Your local law enforcement is not funded by the federal government. The state provides most of that money, in addition to your local municipality taxes. You don't see the FBI walking around patrolling the streets, right? They don't walk a beat in Manhattan. They don't walk a beat in San Francisco. That's the federal money, not your NYPD and not your Chicago PD. Trump also, again, making good on promise, halting visas from terror hotspots. Somalia, Sudan, Iraq, Libya, Iran, Syria, Yemen. Nope, we're going to put a halt on that. And he's going to create safe spaces in Syria, safe zones he's calling them, which is what people have been calling for. Why do you need to bring them here when we can protect them over there? And who says they even want to come here? And who knows what their intent is when they come here? Serious vetting, strong vetting. If you're going to be a good citizen, if you're going to love this country, you can come here. I'm all for it. My grandparents came here. They came in the right way. They came through Ellis Island. So we're halting the visas. You know, a lot of people don't realize, or they forget this fact, that 9/11 was a product of visa overstays. So we got to address that too. That was a serious ramification of visa overstays. Mainstream media losing their mind because Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, doing what he said he would do. Everybody expected him to go right back to the middle. Right back to the middle. You know what the middle's going to be? The middle's going to be a compromise on Obamacare. The middle's going to be an infrastructure bill. Don't think his meeting with the union heads of skilled trades was any coincidence. They are going to be very involved in that infrastructure bill. Not to mention he's going to cut off the funding of the Democrat Party by getting skilled trade unions on his side. All right, let's talk about this just for a second. Today, Friday, was the March for Life. And it didn't get much coverage. I didn't expect it to get much coverage. And there's a study done here that the Women's March on Washington got 129 times more coverage than 2016's March for Life. And this is from ABC, CBS, and NBC. This is based on their coverage. Now, they spent at least 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 18 seconds talking about the Women's March on Washington. But in 2016, they spent only 35 seconds on average talking about the March for Life. Mainstream media, they are so transparent. We didn't need WikiLeaks to tell us how transparent they are. We can tell. We know. We figured out their game. Now, the March for Life had good attendance. But last year, their attendance was a little bit low because of 3 feet of snow. So global warming stopped the numbers from going up any higher last year. All right, when we come back, I do want to spend some time talking about this Cal Exit Plus. Who could be running for senator in the state of Missouri in 2018? We'll be right back after this quick little pit stop.
Hey guys, Ryan the Ryno DeSico here for my friends at Liberty HealthShare. If your healthcare has become a burden and you're worried about being stuck for another year, listen up because you do have options. Liberty HealthShare could be the solution to your problem. Open enrollment is here, and this could be your chance to free yourself from insurance. Take this opportunity and join Liberty HealthShare. You can finally be in control and have freedom when it comes to your healthcare. Liberty HealthShare offers an entirely open network, which means you choose your own doctors and you choose your own hospitals. Liberty HealthShare offers freedom from insurance, meaning there are no related tax penalties. To find out how you can easily make the change, call Liberty HealthShare today at 855-585-4237 or visit their website at libertyhealthshare.org. That's libertyhealthshare.org. Do it today.
When you really want Italian food, really good Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Why? Well, here's a couple of reasons. Value. You get a lot for your money along with a load of deliciousness. You're not eating corporate food. Columbo's is family owned and faithful to their long-held family recipes. We're talking service that's never fawning. You'll never get, "Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'll be your server tonight." Please. Jazz every night. Sizzling steaks, luscious fish entrees, yummy Italian specialties, and the world's greatest meatballs. Need I say more? Oh, I will. Value, deliciousness, Italian family specialties, friendly service. Columbo's. Yes! That little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's. Manja.
This is Larry Minetti for Herpamicin, the acne medication that really works from the inside out. If you suffer from skin problems, Herpamicin is the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out and gets rid of all kinds of acne and blemishes on your back, neck, and your face. It works so well, you can look and feel like a movie star. Herpamicin, a natural supplement created by Dr. Wayne Diamond. You take a pill, and that's it. I've been on these supplements, and they really work, folks. Don't be afraid to look in the mirror ever again. Get Herpamicin today. Call 888-467-4200. That's 888-467-4200. Herpamicin, it really works. 888-467-4200. Tell them Larry Minetti told you to call and look and feel like $1 million with Herpamicin. Call 888-467-4200.
So you've missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. For those of you who have already enrolled but just aren't satisfied with what you've chosen, there's still hope. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their healthcare, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. Members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on individuals for not having healthcare insurance, thus giving you freedom from insurance. Liberty HealthShare empowers their members by giving them the ability to choose any doctor or hospital across the nation. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American like myself, looking for contract-free healthcare, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll at any time of the year, call 855-585-4237 or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Do it today.
This is Jeff Carlisi from the Band 38 Special. Let us never forget that police lives matter.
You're listening to the Ryno Report, always right, on the RWB Network.
The Republicans want to repeal it. You know, they actually, with a straight face, say that the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation on Wall Street. They actually say that. You know, I remember when, you know, I've supported my husband through all of his races in Arkansas. And one of my favorite political ads of all time was a radio ad, rural Arkansas, where the announcer said, wouldn't it be great if somebody running for office said something, we could have an immediate reaction as to whether it was true or not? Well, we've trained this dog. And the dog, if it's not true, he's going to bark. And then the dog was barking on the radio. And so, you know, people were like barking at each other for days after that. I'm trying to figure out how we can do that with the Republicans. You know, we need to get that dog and follow them around, and every time they say these things, like, oh, you know, the Great Recession was caused by too much regulation. You know, I think we could cut right through a lot of their their claims.
All right, guys, welcome back to this weekend's edition of the Ryno Report. So, the first March for Life drew about 20,000 people. And then in 2013, 650,000 people. So they do really well. They do really well. Mainstream media is not going to show it. It does not fit the narrative. Mainstream media, very pro-choice, very pro-abortion. They do not like the right to lifers. They don't like us. But I'm a little sick and tired of hearing of crowd numbers, though. I don't know. Donald Trump, he gets a little carried away with the crowd number thing. Maybe it's an ego thing. I don't know what it is. But I get a little sick of it. To me, it kind of sounds like the whole Khan family. Remember that with the Khan family? And he was going after them, the Gold Star family, during the election. And it was like, all right, just drop it. Just drop it and move on. They want him to feed into this. They want Sean Spicer to say, these crazy numbers about the most watched this and the most attended that. Who cares? Who really cares? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many people showed up. It matters that he's president. It matters they showed up on November 8th. That was the attendance. They showed up on November 8th. So, all right, moving over to a place not really happy about what happened November 8th. California, this is getting a little, they cleared this hurdle, so they're allowed to now go collect signatures. They need like 600,000 signatures to get a referendum on the ballot to essentially start the secession process. And I didn't think they were that serious about this. You see it all the time. You see West Maryland, you see Jefferson, you see all sorts of different places that want to secede from their state or become a 51st state, or even Texas has threatened before to leave the Union, and Vermont has threatened to leave the Union. And these things never really gain any traction. The problem with California, it's multi-pronged, is that right now they operate in a small surplus. Very, very small. But they have unfunded pension liabilities that have not come to fruition yet. They're very, very dependent on high earners. Very dependent. They will not get a good trade agreement if they break away. So how are you going to ship in those films? It's us in Flyover and Middle America that watch your stupid movies. Well, if they have a 20 to 30% import tax on them, guess where they're not going? Also, California very dependent on weather. One drought away from not being very viable as an economy. You can't just bank on Hollywood. Hollywood would dry up. Not to mention, the illegals would flood into your state and be a tremendous, tremendous drain on the economy. I think it is interesting, though. You know what? It's your right. If you want to take that right and you want to try to do it, by all means. I have no problem seeing California separate themselves. Doesn't bother me in the least. Give it a shot. But they are making some headway with this. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to... They'll never get... I don't think it'll ever pass. There was one poll said a third of people were for it. Well, a third or fourth, that means two-thirds are against it. And then there was some Twitter poll or something someone did that showed like 67% or 72%. Let's see, I have it here. 76% yes. But only 15,000 votes. And that was on November 9th. So that was a day after the election. That was the poll they're citing. So I guess we'll see what happens there. Really quickly. Senator Claire McCaskill. She could be in for a little competition in 2018. Coming from Joe Gibbs, former Joe Gibbs racer, Carl Edwards. Mr. Backflip when he wins the races, jumps off the windowsill of the car, does a backflip. Well, he retired from NASCAR. Shocked everybody. And he retired essentially saying he wants to go into public service. And, well, McCaskill, she's up in 2018. No word on whether or not Carl Edwards would be a Republican. But he's using words like patriot and duty to country when he describes what he wants to do in the future. So I think there's a pretty good chance he's not a Democrat. Guys, hope you had a good time today. Thanks for hanging out with me. A big thank you to all those serving our country at home and abroad, and a big thank you to those in the law enforcement community. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all the hard work. Please stay safe. We all depend on you. God bless all of you. God bless all of your families. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. That's the Ryno Report, 2 p.m. Eastern, CRNTalk.com, Monday through Friday. So, without further ado, until Monday, I'm the Ryno, and I'm out.